Welcome back to part 3 of my Haunted House Dark Ride build. And in this episode, in the beginning, you just see me finishing off the fences, the gates to the house, and we get to move on to a more exciting part, which is the concept layout and design of the Dark Ride. So what will happen first is I start to build the roller coaster, using the roller coaster for my Dark Ride mechanism, and just experimenting a bit of this and a bit of that. Right now I'm experimenting with making more curved walls using this special Control D cheat. If you don't know how to do that, I can link you to a video that does know how to do that, or just type in tips and tricks for Planet Coaster, and you'll find some amazing techniques that can really help you make something more to what you want. They are very good tips, and they're not too difficult to learn once you get the hang of it. So I build a sort of gatehouse thingy right here with a sort of twin gatehouse. I don't know any examples of this in sort of real life, but it's just something from my head. I thought this could exist. I thought, it's very, foreboding. You come through this really big gate, like, whoa, enter the house, and you turn around the corner and then you see a long driveway, and then you go up into the house. This is how I picture haunted houses to be. I don't know, they're always on top of hills in my imagination, and they always overlook some sort of view, and this house really sort of overlooks the town, and that was the idea behind it. So I think the house, I don't know, I would call it something like Hilltop House, or Overlook House or something. I think it reminds me a bit of the building in The Shining, though it doesn't look exactly like it, but I sort of get that sort of feeling from it, which is okay, which is sort of what I like, and you can sort of see it from the town at certain angles, so it gives it that sort of sense that it's overlooking something. I mean, this sort of idea comes from Phantom Manor in Disneyland. The whole ride, the building is this beautiful. I love the architecture. It's like this Second Empire. It's incredible, and it overlooks the town on this fake boot hill, so to speak. And it really, as soon as you walk into, I think, Frontierland or something, I don't know, it's in the western part. They actually built it in the western part to make it sort of a bit different. And as soon as you walk into the western part, it literally overlooks everything, and it looks so cool. It looks just like a haunted house, and that's the feeling I was going for. So I found the right bit of land to make the hill, as you can see, it's on a hill, and I found this perfect little bit of land that overlooks onto the town. And it really is cool because it also looks like it has an enormous basement, and that's how I picture, and an enormous attic too because of the roof. So that's how I picture haunted houses, like a basement you could get locked in and lost forever. Some say the basement leads down into corridors that go into catacombs that goes into hell, or something like that. But I'm liking it. I think I designed the Dark Ride the wrong way around, so you go into hell, and then you come out of hell, and then you go into the house. And I think, had I designed it again, I would make it go through the house first, and then through into hell, and then back again. But you'll see. I hope either way it doesn't really matter, because, either way, it's gonna be cool, hopefully. So at the moment, I am just filling in some trees and plants. It's sort of, you get a nice view from the theatre. As you see, that theatre building is sort of in the backyard. I was thinking of making the concept that the house was owned by the man who runs the theatre, sort of this eccentric, rich, old theatre-like person. So he built his house right next to his theatre. This kind of thing. I could be, I don't know. And I love this effect. I think I saw this from another video. And this person used the seaweed as a sort of weeping willow-like effect, because there's no weeping willow trees in the in the game yet. And I think it has a really cool sort of effect. And I use these things for so many things, just to make it look like there's some vines growing. It's rotten, overgrown is what I'm going for. So, I mean, I don't see them as seaweed. I don't think they look too seaweedy. I think they look kind of like how I want. I used them in the entrance building as a sort of hanging vine, and now here they look sort of more creepy. So, And I filled in a lot of the area with this grassy texture. I would kill for a larger one, but at the moment it's good enough. It's good enough, but it just takes a bit of time. And I also, in the front garden, build a gazebo-like thing, trying to make it circular. I don't know when I start making the gazebo. I'm adding the lights now. But I was really happy with how the gazebo turned out, and that was also completely directly inspired by Phantom Manor. So a lot of this building and a lot of what it's representing, a lot of what you see is completely Phantom Manor based, you know. I think the red lights look so fantastic to make stuff look really evil, you know. I thought green and red, but then I thought, nah, that looks very Christmassy. So I decided just to go for the red. Now, as you can see, I'm starting to make the gazebo. I still am not 100% on my pathways. I still think they could be improved a bit. I don't know. If you have any tips for me to make better pathways, please forward me some videos or forward me some websites that help you with the basic layout, because the curved path feature, I'm just not always happy. I always cover up the sides with it, you know. I always want to hide the imperfections. And inside the gazebo is a little bench-like area. I just wish they could actually use that. I mean, they're not going to use it, but I know it looks cool. It's really experimental. I got these skull lights to go all the way around. They tried to decorate it and these kind of things. But it's probably the one thing that was very experimental, and I'm not 100% sure, but I like it. But if you think it could be improved, or if you don't know how it's looking, or if you think it could be better, please leave me a comment to tell me how I could improve that, because at the moment that was just very experimental. There's nothing really with the right shape. I wanted some sort of circular shape, but the wooden paneling doesn't have a circular shape. It just has this sort of octagonal shape, you know. And then I add in these specific roof-like things, you know, just to make it a bit gazebo-y, because it really is based on the one in Phantom Manor. But I'm still not 100% sure on it, so let me know what you think about that. That's the most experimental part, probably, of the whole garden area. You know, it's okay. It's okay. It worked how I wanted it in the end, which is all I could ever really hope for. And you know, it looks like a gazebo. It looks like a gazebo. You know, I think I have to add some more lighting and stuff to make it a bit more interesting. But it looks creepy. I don't know. It looks like something from a haunted house, I guess, because of the skulls. The skulls are really. I'm glad pirate themes have skulls, because this build would be incredibly boring, and the Stark Ride wouldn't work without skulls, I think. So, but yeah, some sort of elements of the pirate theme tend to overlap with horror theme, you know. Just a little bit, you know. The pirate themed building items for housing and stuff could be used for horror, as I have done so here. But you know, skull-like things and this and that, and you know, these kind of things also are very good for horror. And I love the seaweed, you know. It just looks like overgrown vines, you know. That's what I was looking for. I was going for, you know, this is a sort of, you know, and it also gives it a nice little shaded area for when you're inside the gazebo. You feel like you're in a sort of different room, you know. You feel like you're not part of the garden, you know. I would love a gazebo like this if I had a house, you know. I think it would be so fantastic just to go there and just chill, you know. And you know, I put a hammock inside. I don't know, just sleep the whole day. I don't know, but you know, I digress. And now I'm still working on this gazebo. It was really like, you know, I was thinking to myself when I was making it, you should be making the Dark Ride. People don't really care about gazebos, and I'm just thinking, yeah, but it has to be there, you know. It has to look real. It has to look like a gazebo. And I don't know. Let me know what you think. I think it sort of touches the idea of a gazebo. I think it's called a gazebo. I don't know what else is. I think it's called something else in England. I think we call it a summer house, which sounds very pretentious. So I think gazebo just sounds a bit more interesting. And this octopus finale thing, I thought that looked really cool. I thought, yes, that's what they have in some Victorian mock Tudor houses. These sort of decorative moldings and these kind of things. So now I'm going to work on the ride, and I always forget whenever I'm building the ride again to turn on the sheet to make the roller coasters work, which is under construction. You have to type that in to the search panel, and I always forget to do that. I'm like, why aren't the roller coasters working? And then I realize, yeah, derp, because you know, you have to unlock them. So that's what I was doing in the beginning, and I think I tried out sort of a few more different routes and these kind of things, you know. This is the part I'm building, which goes around the Kraken, more or less. It sort of circles around the Kraken. And all this part will be completely under rocks and inside a building, you know. It's going to be like a big warehouse building on the outside to make it look like a dark ride. If you go online and look up Phantom Manor from above, you will see that a majority of that ride could never possibly fit into the building. That building is just a square box facade. I think only the entranceway is like the building. You know, when you walk in, there's a stretch room, and that's the size of the building. You know, there are 2 of them in the building, and that's it, you know. So it's all nicely hidden away behind trees, behind the boot hill, you know, built behind everything, and you can't see it. So that is entirely the concept I based on this. So hopefully I have to figure out ways to cover it up so you can't see it, but I'm thinking it's gonna be on the edge of a wood, something like that. But I would really like to build an outside the map zone, because it's gonna look like a wood that stops instantly. Oh well, what can you do? The bit I'm building now, it's where it circles. I'm gonna build some rooms and stuff here, and it's gonna go inside the rooms, and I've made 1 room so far, and it has a sort of fireplace with some bookshelves, and I'm not sure what it looks like to me, but I don't have really a lot to work with, so that's, you know, just a bit of experimentation. You know, I would love things like chairs and grandfather clocks and, you know, curtains, but that doesn't exist yet, and I'm 100% certain they'll make this exist for in the future when they build sort of horror themes and stuff, because I know there are probably many people who want to build their haunted house dark rides, and I would also love an actual Doom buggy like track. You know, these I think they're called Doom buggies in Disney. I don't know what they're actually called other than that, but they turn at certain points, so I would love to be able to set the cars to turn, and so you can view the area, and with a roller coaster you have to turn your head. It's a bit of a lack of realism there, but you know, what can you do? I think I sort of discovered a bit too late that you can curve the crank up, because it wasn't letting me for a while, and then I converted it afterwards to a curved crank up, and I think that makes a lot more sense for a dark ride. I mean, maybe the whole way should have a crank up, because, you know, that's how dark rides are much slower and stuff, but I thought, you know, speeding up and slowing down is an element of a dark ride too, so all in all I'm quite happy. And as you can see, there's a hill part there next to the chain lift, and that chain lifts you out of hell back into the house. So that's the concept. You see those 2 hills? That's going in and out from hell. So, you know, all in all, I think it will work pretty well. I hope. And I hope I actually start building some of the dark ride in this episode. I'm pretty sure I do. So I will leave it there, and I think I've explained more or less how it's going to look, how it's going to work. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the build. Oh well, let me just say that it comes out by a graveyard, and I really love it. I love the way the graveyard looks. It looks so cool. I used windows as gravestones. I got this idea from Reddit. Someone had made a creepy graveyard, and I thought, yeah, that would be pretty cool. So yeah, I've been just using a lot of ideas and this and that, and trying to develop them into something that I need them for, which is always great. So I'm gonna leave it there. And I will see you in the next episode, where hopefully some more substantial stuff would have been done to the dark ride. I will see you then.